Alright, so I'm out here with my trusted 2015 bow tie. Here to say it's probably gonna come to the end of an era soon. It's served us well. We've hauled everything from trees to snowmobiles and four-wheelers with it. We found a worthy replacement. It's a 2021 Chevy still, but it's a gas, but it has more power than this one. This truck still has no issues whatsoever, though. It's perfectly sound. The only thing that happened is it's a Chevy problem. It's no big deal. It's rusting on the bottom, but that's no big deal. We just get an undercoat for that. Still, after all these years of going up north, salty, all kinds of salt in there. Flawless interior still. No rips in the leather on the steering wheel. Everything's nice and clean. I check fluids and wash it once every 2 or 3 weeks, depending on what kind of time I have on my hands. Some things we might do if we keep it is definitely get the undercoating done underneath it. And right behind that mud flap, and that mud flap might be a $800 exhaust system instead of just the one stock pipe. One thing I have done is I made this pipe silver because it was covered in silt and everything. The ends burnt, but what do you expect from hot exhaust? We might get a module for this thing. It'll basically, you get sport mode, work mode, standard. There'll be a little screen right here. So the stock 360 horsepower will go up to, I believe, trying to think, 405 horsepower, and the torque, 375 pound-feet of torque stock here, will go up to 465, which is more than the new engine in the new trucks, which is 401 horsepower and 405 pound-feet of torque, I believe, or 445 pound-feet of torque. So we've been doing a ton of work with it. We scratched, start to see there's a scratch in the taillight right here. It's not coming out. And we have a scratch in the paint that's down to the metal, but one of my cousins owns a very successful body shop. He's still open because he's essential, but he's not doing the greatest, as many places are not. So, but it might be my first truck, this thing. We don't know. It's already got some, 35-inch BF Goodrich all-terrains on there, so no issues in snow, mud. One thing I do complain about the Chevys, they don't come stock leveled. The front is 2.56 inches lower than the back, so we got a leveling kit. And down right in there, they're called eye drops. Because that's what they look like. We get longer ones, and it raises the front so that, it's level. And for example, my grandfather just got a new Chevy. His is a diesel. It doesn't have a leveling kit, and you can feel the difference in it. But he's gonna get that, but it's got delayed many times. First time it was almost to his house, and it got destroyed, along with his tonneau cover for the bed. Holds 1,200 pounds. Snowmobiles, four-wheelers, and it got back ordered twice. And then he's not getting it now. They're just holding it for him until this is over. So, yeah, it's going to be sad to see this thing go, though. We've had it for 5 years. From day one, we've done a lot with it. These leaf springs, that's what they're called. They're supposed to be bent up that way and that way. We've had loads in this thing so bad that it was level. So we've definitely pushed it. We loaded it down where instead of 17 miles to the gallon, it gets like 4. So that's pushing it, but it'll be sad to see this big bow tie go. It's a big monster. There's a little bit of a dog on hills, but, that's because it's got a good gear ratio in the back. So it's not made for speed. It's made to crawl through mud and crawl over rocks and anything you can think of. So it's a little confusing. I'm not going to go in depth about it. I might make a video about it. But basically, a 3 to 73 gear ratio, it sounds crazy. It's like 3 teeth to 73 teeth in the back. Right down there, I'll show you in the differential. That's what that big thing is in the middle, where the drive shaft meets the back axle to be driven. That's what my grandpa's truck has, because it's a fast truck. As if this one, it's made to go crawl through mud though, so it's 4 teeth to 10 teeth. So that's a huge decrease, but the teeth are a lot bigger. So it goes really well in 4 low. It'll crawl over anything. It'll drag anything. So we never thought our family would leave Chevy, especially even my dad's work truck in the background is a Chevy. My mom insisted on getting a Ford Explorer. It makes all kinds of weird noises sitting in the garage, but I think it's just the turbo's cooling. Apparently the coolant level is a 1/3 full, which is way under the minimum. Not many people know what that is. I'll do an in-depth video explaining all how engines work and everything, just because that'll probably be a video out of boredom. But a lot of the fluids in that car run lower than they're supposed to, but apparently that's normal. It's kind of crazy. I'm not a fan of that car. Would have rather get her. She was gonna get the 1500 version of this, smaller version of this truck, but she wanted to get a Ford, so that's what she got. But as long as the Queen's happy in that palace there, we have peace. So, but yeah, mice issues in the garage are driving me insane as well. I have to start snowmobiles every day now until Thanksgiving, till the weekend after Thanksgiving when we take them up. So the exhaust and the air intakes are plugged with towels so we don't get any mice in there, because they destroyed my lawnmower and one of my weed whackers. So they're a real menace down here, and they're tiny. They'll get anywhere. You know, the exhaust pipe here is a perfect opportunity for them to get into anything. But it is what it is. We have to deal with it. So I wish it was cold, because they'd be dead or hibernating, but it is what it is. So, but that's pretty much it. More updates coming on whatever's going on. Definitely there'll be a big video once we get the new truck, if we do. If not, we don't. But it just, once again, it all depends on what happens. So I'll see you in the next video.